Hey guys, I'm Ashley Glazer, celebrity makeup artist, beauty expert, and amateur chef. And this is Bronzer and Burrata. I really want to learn to cook, so I've called in some friends and experts in their field to teach me in exchange for beauty tips. Today, we're going to meet my friend and renowned food stylist, Dana Bonagura, in one of her most favorite places, Union Square Farmers Market. Dana's going to teach us how to shop in season for fresh ingredients to be fully used throughout our dish that not only look beautiful, but also serve a purpose. Let's go find her.
This is the biggest farmers market
in New York.
It is unbelievable, the amount of produce. The farmers come in from all around the state, all different walks of life. They specialize in all different things. Fish, meat, veggies, fruits, flowers. It's my heaven.
It's your Sephora.
Basically.
It's your Harrods of beauty, the biggest, most luxurious, most glamorous beauty department. This is it for you, for food styling?
Yes.
Okay, so where are we gonna go? We're gonna get some ingredients for our dish tonight?
Yeah, so usually I like to just come here and get whatever's in season.
Okay.
We're at my favorite farmer. We're gonna pick up some fennel, which is one of the main components of the dish.
Awesome.
We're gonna be using it in all different ways, and let's go see what he's got.
We got our fennel, we're feeling fabulous.
And we are headed to Burrata.
We are going to have a very stylish afternoon, so let's go.
Let's go.
Dana, I wish we can go to the market every single day. That was stimulating. I cannot handle it. It was so fun.
Gives me chills, and it is absolutely my favorite place. And also, this is my favorite place to get dinner in New York City.
You must be a super regular here at Burrata because they're letting us style, do makeup, hang out, take over. So blessed. Thank you guys. All right, so eyebrows are the appetizer portion of your face. It's the first thing I like to do. It's the quickest way to look super polished and carry the rest of the look. The first thing I like to do is I like to take a little bit of translucent powder and rub against the grain that the hair goes. Oh, let me give you a mirror so you can see what's happening.
Okay.
That way you can actually see.
Okay.
So putting a little bit of powder soaks up the oil how we drain the olives. So that way it keeps the brows looking really matte and really smooth. For hair texture and color like yours, I like to use a pencil that you want to look for something that's a cooler, a gray tone. Okay. Not something that's black or dark brown.
Understood.
I like to use a pencil that has a little spoolie at the end, so it's just less things to hold on to. And I like to start at the arch and just fill in here, just turn a little.
Okay.
Just fill in on the top for you. Just to give a little bit of polish, but we don't need to make them look super, super full. I like to do a little bit in the front, and you kind of almost want to hold the pencil upside down and just give a little bit of more definition, super gently, because naturally you don't have super square boxy brows, but this trick just makes them look really refined and really polished, and is something that as a makeup artist, I always do on people to give them that extra special look. Another trick to always look super polished, and something as a makeup artist I always do, is curling the lashes. Do you curl your lashes?
No. Okay. I need to do all of your tricks.
Okay.
You're gonna up my game.
Curling the lashes, just look down, gives the eye a really open look, and because it literally lifts the lashes. So I like to get pretty close, hold it down for as long as you like, but just look at that. It instantly looks open before even putting any makeup on.
Yeah.
And then you can support the lash with some mascara, or if you don't want to do any mascara and you're just running out, you can just do brows and curled lash. Do you want to try it?
Yeah.
It really makes such a massive difference every day. If you start curling your lashes, the more you do it, the more they'll get used to it.
Okay,
you're training them. It's a training program. And then we can put a little bit of mascara on.
Do you ever do bottom lashes?
So, because I don't like the look of a dusty lash. So if you are using shadow or powder, concealer, it can get on your bottom lashes, but you still want to keep it open. So I'll take like an eyeshadow brush and I'll just kind of dip it on the mascara. Maybe like brush a little off on your hand so it's like almost nothing. And then just sort of graze over it. Yeah, you want to try?
Yeah, that's smart.
They do make like little tiny fan mascara brushes, but they're kind of like super hard to find. So you probably have like a random small brush lying around. And then it looks like a shadow, but it's the quality of the mascara, so it won't run or anything like that.
That's
cool,
smart.
right?
Yeah.
So now you're ready? You're ready for your appetizer?
That's a good secret.
Okay, so now we're getting ready for dinner where Dana's making the most beautiful like dish, and your trick is with the fish is that we put the vegetables underneath.
Yes, so that the heat can go all around and circulate under it, and also doesn't stick to the pan.
So it doesn't stick, and it like supports, and it supports the fish, and it looks really pretty. Mostly, it looks really pretty to me.
Everything for
everything for beauty. So like my makeup interpretation of this is a trick that I always do is like I use a warm foundation to like contour and like basically support the face. So instead of adding like so many layers of thanks, Morgan. Morgan's over there. And I like to also use paper plates for sanitary reasons. So I'm always talking about food. So anyway.
Well, for me, I was like an art minor, and it just looks like a painter's palette.
That's so cool.
Right? So you're
like painting with food and I'm painting the face.
Exactly.
We're Bob Rossing it up over here.
For sure.
So I like to take just a little pretty tray of liquid foundation in a darker shade. So this could be like your summer foundation, or you can just buy one that's like a little bit darker, 2 or 3 shades. And I like to take a fluffy brush and I use it like a bronzer. So the same concept that you apply bronzer in like a number 3 shape, it's like instead of using like aluminum foil, which is like it's wasteful, the fish could still stick to it. We're using the vegetable, we're using a foundation. This has a purpose in our makeup wardrobe. So it adds coverage, it adds dimension, and it adds warmth. And we're using a really fluffy brush, so it looks natural. So there's like natural contours to the skin, and the makeup just looks really, really beautiful. We will still add a little bit of powder bronzer later on, but you don't need to add so many layers to get that look. Just like you only need to throw on the vegetables and that's it, you're done. Like it looks beautiful and it's...
I've also never owned foundation in my whole life.
Oh, well, you get to go home with some today.
Nice. Well, I literally wouldn't know what to do with it unless you told me.
This one is like the easiest one to do. This is the MAC Face and Body. This is like one of my all-time absolute staples. Like you guys have heard me talk about this before. So another way that I like to kind of brighten up the look, like how the oranges and the lemons just look really bright against the fish. Like, so basically Dana's the fish. Like your face is the protein, is the main thing, then everything else is just like sprucing it up, adding flavor, adding texture, and providing a function. So now we're gonna use concealer. So this is the Maybelline like little puffy age rewind concealer. I'm literally obsessed with this for personal use. It's so easy to do. Normally you would just put on your concealer and rub it in under your eyes, you know, like call it a day. But no, there is more. I like to take a small eyeshadow brush and work off the concealer. I mean, this is hers, so we can go ahead and do this. If you're a professional makeup artist watching this, you should use your plate. And I like to take it and I put it right under the brows. I like to put this underneath the eyebrows because it gives a lifted effect. And because it's a concealer skin-like texture, it looks really, really natural.
It's like built-in coffee.
Yes, literally. And you want to put it right here in the inner tear duct for a really brightening and awakening look. You can take your finger if you want, like your pinky. I like a good pinky, and you just like pop it right there. Yeah. The warmth of your fingers melts the makeup better than any tool.
They say that about mixing butter into biscuit dough.
Really?
See how aligned we are?
We fully are. I love it. So my next trick, we're gonna do eyeshadow. We're gonna use one shadow with 3 different tools. Sort of how like you shave the parm, make those beautiful ribbons, but it's the same hunky parm that we had earlier in the day.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna start with like...
Hunky.
Yeah, I love a hunk of parm. All right, so I'm gonna start with like my fluffy brush, which is like basically the equivalent of like your peeler. So it's giving like, oh here, grab the mirror so that way you can see. So it's giving us like a softer, more sheer texture of the shadow.
I like this color.
This is Saddle from MAC. I love a nice warm brown. On any skin tone, find a brown that has a red undertone and it looks really, really, really beautiful. If you're super, super fair, like really fair, then look for something a little bit more taupey, but anywhere from like under super porcelain down, go for the warmer undertones.
I love this color actually.
It's so pretty, right? And then using, because it mimics the warmth that's in the bronzer. So it like all looks like one and like it's coming from within. And the fluffy brush just really allows you to be super free, so you get this beautiful sheer ribbon of shadow. Now with the same color, if you want to make it a little bit more dense, you're going to take a flat brush.
Okay.
To get a little bit more pigment, a little more richness, like we're adding like some more ingredients into our salad, you just want to take an applicator brush like this and just press. The more you press gently, especially in the on the ball of the eye, the more depth and dimension and pigment you'll get from your product. So now we're gonna do eyeliner with the same shadow. So we're gonna wet it a little bit. You can just, if you're at home, you can just like run it under the sink really quick. I'm gonna spray it with a little bit of water setting spray. And then when I wet a shadow, I like to kind of keep it towards the outside. It's fine to do this, like it's not gonna ruin your makeup. And then I always like to test everything on the hand. So this just makes the pigment a little bit stronger and helps it to stay on a little bit more. Look up for me. And I'm just gonna run it a little bit underneath, but I'm using a really tight, super flat, thin brush.
Oh, fab.
Gorge.
Very impressed.
Show us.
So one of my tips as a food stylist for anyone who's asking me restaurant questions or cooking questions is, if they're a beginner, how do I make them look like they're making an advanced dish?
Okay.
Even mac and cheese from a box is probably more difficult than this.
I mean, I can't even do that.
I know you can't make mac and cheese from a box. That's why I wanted to let you know this is easier. Okay?
All right.
So a couple of things. I guess we could start by saying there's so few ingredients, but all of them automatically look fancy and automatically elevate your dish from the get-go. Just think that this hunk of cheese is so much more visually appealing and looks fancier. It's probably less expensive because the staff at Whole Foods
the work
isn't
hasn't been done.
Exactly.
I think it looks like
gorgeous, stunning.
Yeah.
And then it's blood orange season. If I could get my hands on blood oranges, it just feels more elevated. It's sweeter. They're gorgeous.
They are sweeter.
Like jewelry, yeah. So same with the whole Branzino. So I got this whole fish because it looks fancier, and I had them remove all the bones.
Oh my gosh.
So this is called butterflied when you go to your supermarket. Just ask your fishmonger to butterfly your fish.
Okay.
When you present a whole fish at the table,
people think you know exactly what you're doing.
You're an expert, okay? And there's no bones here. So it's the same as if you were to get it filleted.
Okay.
It just looks
more
so
stunning.
Much more, exactly. The one thing that I know people like to skip on, but you kind of have to do, is rinsing and drying your fish, especially your fish. Because if you allow the fish to go in the oven or cook in its natural juices, it starts to steam instead of roast.
Oh.
So then your skin doesn't get crispy, or it just takes...
Interesting, I didn't know that. So it's like you gotta prime your fish.
You have to...
Prep and prime.
Yeah, prep and prime. So another thing that we absolutely have to do is to get the skin nice and crispy. Let me get this out of your way. I'm just gonna make little slits right through the skin, okay?
Okay,
Two
cool.
or three, no big deal. Use a sharp knife.
Just like this?
Puncture it, And this way it'll allow some steam to escape while you're cooking
like
it.
That?
Perfect, yeah. You could shove little pieces of herbs or lemon inside, which I sometimes do, but we're gonna keep it simple today.
Okay.
And just allow it to be like steam holes. You do the same thing for like pie. You like allow steam holes.
I've never made a pie, but I see
That'll
the holes when I
one.
buy it at the bakery.
Okay, so we're gonna use this entire head of fennel.
It's so beautiful
So
looking.
normally people would just throw this away.
Okay,
But
because you can't eat this part.
You can, and it has a ton of flavor. So when I was shopping and planning, smell it. It smells like anise.
Oh my God, it smells so good.
This has so much flavor. There's no reason why you wouldn't take these gorgeous green tips. You want to stuff it?
Yeah, one help.
And put it inside.
Oh my gosh.
And it'll just infuse the inside with it.
It literally feels fake. So just put it inside?
Yeah, and actually open it all the way because we're gonna salt and pepper. This is a finishing salt. I highly recommend Malden.
Dana loves this salt. Like when we were prepping, a little fell and she just ate it.
Like candy. Yeah. First of all, it looks like diamonds. Malden came out with a smoked. Now, I know people say, oh, I don't like smoked things. This is not like smoked ribs and something like that. It just adds a depth of flavor. You're making a whole fish. You use
inside,
salt
not
and
the
pepper.
outside?
No, both. You do both sides. Everything needs to be seasoned.
Okay.
Pepper. You want a pepper for me?
Like you prime your eyeshadow and your face.
Exactly. But same thing with like patting things. I feel like you keep telling me that I need to like not be shiny on camera, right? So we made our...
Gotta mattify. Gotta mattify the brows and we gotta mattify our fish.
Okay, we're gonna drizzle with some really good olive oil. This is robust, so it has a lot of flavor.
I like that word.
Me too. But also everything we're doing has a punch of flavor.
Okay.
So we don't need to have tons of sauce or like extra ingredients to get tons of flavor.
Keeping it
super
clean.
simple. Yeah.
All right.
So we're just drizzling this and we'll drizzle it on top also. And then we're gonna reserve this and the fish is gonna sit on top of the fennel. So every part of the fennel is being used in this.
That is so cool.
So it's not gonna stick to the pan because then the skin gets stuck. Or if you use aluminum foil, then you're creating waste. We already have a built-in non-stick option that's gonna allow...
Like literally a genius and stylish idea.
Yeah, and then when you plate it, it looks beautiful, like when you put it on your platter. And if it's not blood orange season, or if you don't have it in your store, anything. Mandarins, oranges, lemons, whatever. Lime, any citrus, grapefruit. Be creative. Okay. Like this is what's gonna add nice, beautiful flavor.
And I do love the colors, like the bright green, the bright orange, the ruby tone in the blood orange. It's so stunning.
With the silvery.
We're accessorizing our fish.
Yeah, we're styling and adding flavor. When this comes to your guests or your table, like you obviously look like a pro.
Yeah.
We did nothing so far.
No, we literally didn't do anything.
Put this straight into the oven. We put it into a high oven.
Amazing.
We're gonna throw it under the broiler to get the skin nice and crispy.
Okay.
When this comes to the table, it's intact. This could go on your grill. Like avoiding flipping a fish
saves stress, time,
100%.
and ruining your dinner.
Exactly. All right, I'm gonna go wash my hands. We're gonna salt and pepper, and then pop that in the oven.
Amazing. All right, so our fish is in the oven, and now you're going to show us how to make salad with the leftover ingredients that we didn't use earlier.
Correct. So this is super straightforward, but like we said before, just different flavors make it feel easier. The only thing that we're really cutting is oranges and fennel, and we'll cut up some olives as well, but it's the same amount of time. It just feels like elevated ingredients. So what I'm doing basically is taking the core, so you just cut a triangle.
Okay.
You'll see here, this is the core. Okay, just cut a triangle and cut that out because that part's not really edible.
That's the only thing we've tossed.
Exactly.
This entire dish.
Thinly slice our fennel.
Okay.
Okay, watch your fingers. As you feel unbalanced, you flip your fennel on its side.
And you place
so
it.
Now it feels like you are more sturdier.
And you like to slice it in this shape because that's the way that the vegetable is, or because it looks more glamorous than like cubes?
I like it thin because it does have a strong flavor, but I also just think that when you have it on a fork, that it's more delicate.
Okay.
Because we're having, fish, you want it to all, it's crunchy. We have the meaty olives, so you just want to have different textures, and it all should fit nicely on a fork. If you have something too chunky, then you don't want to have to start cutting up your salad. Okay, basically.
That's good.
These are the exact same olives, but I asked my olive guy. You could find them in like
You have
the
an olive guy?
Kind of have an olive guy.
Oh my God, that's legit.
It's the exact same olives, just these are without pits. I prefer those for snacking. They have such a meaty quality. These do as well, but just saves me time.
It's easier, and you don't want any hazards at your party.
And just imagine, we took out the fish bones, okay? Cost $0 more, and then it's one less thing to have to do. If you're taking out pits while you're eating your salad, it'll be delicious. It's just one more
thing that you have to do.
So we're just gonna...
So you chop them up?
Yeah, and like totally rough chop. The simpler, the better, okay? If you think about how few steps we've done today and how much punch of flavor it's gonna give us, it's all about simplicity and big flavors. Okay? Can you pass me that
hunky parm?
Hunky. I love that you call it hunky. Hunky hunk of parm. So you could just have a cheese knife and break off pieces for snacking. You could also throw this into your salad this way, but I like the ribbons of the fennel.
Ribbons.
And I like being able, you're used to grating cheese over pasta and things like that. If you use, I'll do it once and you could do it following, okay? If you just do ribbons.
It's so chic. I love when there's shaved parm on a salad. I think it's just the chicest thing.
So compared to grated cheese, you go ahead. When you have these
Should I do it that way or this? Is there a way?
Just get me ribbons. Do it your way. Yeah. You're allowing the crystallized sugars, basically, so you still taste that. Look at the color. Is that not jewelry, though?
It's beautiful.
It is.
It's really
honestly,
pretty.
I'm obsessed with blood oranges. So when you make a dressing, it's usually something acidic, like a vinegar or a lemon. In this case, we're going to be using our blood orange and your oil. So you have the same oil you used earlier. We're using the blood oranges. We've used the juice. We've used the inside.
We've used literally every single thing.
Okay.
Amazing.
Gorgeous. Pepper me. And we're going to use the same finishing salt. Yeah, perfect. The same, this is the smoky salt from earlier. You can absolutely use kosher salt.
Okay.
This is not necessarily a cooking salt, this is a finishing salt. I just really love that smoky flavor, that's why we put it with the fish.
What's the difference between a finishing salt and a cooking salt?
The grind, remember how, or like the flakes, remember how flaky I was showing you? Okay, so that's why it like melts on your tongue when it's chunkier, where a cooking salt kind of melts quicker and is more absorbent in when you're cooking. Okay?
All right.
Done and done. Is this not
the
most
gorgeous?
You're a food stylist. Fish is in the oven 10 to 12 minutes, excuse me. And we broil it at the end so the fish gets nice and crispy.
Okay.
This took, I don't know. Like honestly, if we weren't talking, probably seconds. Like you can probably do this whole thing. You can rough chop this up. So we're gonna take this. Our fish is ready.
Okay.
And have wine.
Yes. I've been waiting to hear those words all day.
I know, my favorite words.
Let's go. Thank you guys so much for watching today. I hope that you enjoyed Secrets from Stylists. If I can make this, you could do this. Well, I didn't actually make it, but you didn't actually do your makeup, but we learned.
No, but I feel totally confident in doing brows now.
I actually feel super confident, and I'm definitely going to be trying this, and I hope that you guys try it too. Thanks for joining us, and don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel for more.
Yes.
Cheers. Cheers.